Dr. Strange. You think you know how the world works? What if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything does. Not everything has to. Through the mystic arts, we harness energy and shape reality. We travel great distances in an instant.
How do I get from here to there?
How did you become a doctor?
Study and practice, years of it.
There's a strength to him.
But is he ready?
Be careful which path you travel down, Strange. Stronger men than you have lost their way. I am death. In pain. You'll die protecting this world.
I can't do this.
There is no other way.
I've spent so many years peering through time, looking for you.
What's this, my mantra?
It's the Wi-Fi password. We're not savages.
Essentials of Practice and Enlightenment for Beginners by Master Han Shan Te Xing, 1546 to 1623, translated by Gun Gushi. Zen Master Han Shan Te Xing, Han Shan De Jing, is considered one of the four most eminent Buddhist monks in the late Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644. Partly for his social-political interactions with the Ming court, interpretations of Buddhist texts, and most importantly, for his Chan practice. 1. How to practice and to reach enlightenment. Concerning the causes and conditions of this great matter, this Buddha nature, is intrinsically within everyone. As such, it is already completed within you, lacking nothing. The difficulty is that since time without beginning, seeds of passion, deluded thinking, emotional conceptualizations, and deep-rooted habitual tendencies have obscured this marvelous luminescence. You cannot generally realize it because you have been wallowing in remnant deluded thoughts of body, mind, and the world, discriminating and musing about this and that. For these reasons you have been roaming in a cycle of birth and death endlessly. Yet all Buddhas and ancestral masters have appeared in the world using countless words and expeditions, means to expound on Chan and to clarify the doctrine. Following and meeting different dispositions of sentient beings, all of these expedient means are like tools to crush our mind of clinging and realize that originally there is no real substantiality to dharmas or the sense of self. What is commonly known as practice means simply to accord with whatever state of mind you are in, so as to purify and relinquish the deluded thoughts and traces of your habit tendencies. Exerting your effort here is called practice. If within a single moment deluded thinking suddenly ceases, you will truly perceive your own mind and realize that it is vast and open, bright and luminous. intrinsically perfect and complete. This state, being originally pure, devoiding of a single thing, is called enlightenment. Apart from this mind, there is no such thing as cultivation or enlightenment. The essence of your mind is like a mirror, and all the traces of deluded thoughts and clinging to conditions are the feeling dust of the mind. Your conceptions of appearances is this dust, and your emotional consciousness is the defilement. If all the deluded thoughts melt away, their intrinsic essence will reveal in its own accord. It's like when the defilement is polished away, the mirror regains its clarity. It is the same with Dharma. However, our habit, defilement, and self-clinging accumulated throughout eons have become solid and deep-rooted. Fortunately, through the conditions of having the guidance of a good spiritual friend or internal prajna as a cause can influence our being, so this inherited prajna can be augmented. Having realized that prajna is inherited in us, we will be able to arouse the body-mind and steer our direction towards the aspiration of relinquishing the cycle's existence of birth and death. This task of uprooting the roots of birth and death, accumulated through innumerable eons, all at once, is a subtle matter. If you are not someone with great strength and ability, brave enough to shoulder such a burden and to cut through directly to this matter, without the slightest hesitation, then this task will be extremely difficult. An ancient one has said, "This matter is like one person confronting 10,000 enemies." These are not false words. 2. The entrance to practice and enlightenment. Generally speaking, in this Dharma ending age, there are more people who practice than people who truly have realization. There are more people who waste their efforts than those who derive power. Why is this? They do not accept their effort directly and do not know the shortcut. Instead, many people merely fill their minds with past knowledge and of words and languages based on what they have heard, and they measure things by means of their emotional discriminations. Or they suppress deluded thoughts, or they dazzle themselves with visionary astonishment at their sensory gates. These people dwell on the words of the ancient ones in their minds and take them to be real. Furthermore, they cling to these words as their own view. Little do they know that none of these are the least bit useful. This is what is called grasping at others' understanding and clouding one's own entrance to enlightenment. In order to engage in practice, you must first sever knowledge and understanding, and single-mindedly exert all of your efforts on one thought. Have your firm conviction in your own true mind that originally it is pure and clear without the slightest lingering thing, it is bright and perfect, and is pervades throughout the Dharma Dhatu. Intrinsically, there is no body, mind, or world, nor are there any deluded thoughts and emotional conceptions. Right at this moment, a single thought is itself unborn. Everything that manifests before you now are illusory and unsubstantial, all of which are reflections projected from the true mind. Work in such a manner to crush away all your deluded thoughts. You should fixate your mind to observe where the thoughts arise from and where they cease. If you practice like this, no matter what kinds of deluded thoughts arise, one smashed and they will all be crushed to pieces. All will dissolve and vanish away. You should never follow or perpetuate deluded thoughts. Mr. Young has admonished. One must sever the mind that desires thoughts, cultivation. This is because the illusory mind of delusion is originally rootless. You should never take a deluded thought as real and try to hold on to it in your heart. As soon as it arises, notice it right away. Once you notice it, it will vanish. Never try to suppress thoughts, but allow thoughts to be as you watch a growth floating on water. Put aside your body, mind, and world and simply bring forth a single thought of metal like a sword piercing through the sky. Whether a Buddha or a Mara appears, just cuts them off like a snail of the entangled silky thread. Use all your efforts and strength patiently to push your mind to the very end. What is known as a mind that maintains the correct thought of true suchness means that the correct thought is no thought. If you are able to contemplate no thought, you are already steering towards the wisdom of the Buddhas. Those who practice and have recently venerated the body-mind should have the conviction and the teaching of mind only. The Buddha has said, the three realms are mind only and the myriad dharmas are mere consciousness. All Buddha Dharma is only future exposition on these two lines, so everyone will be able to distinguish, understand, and generate faith in his reality. The passengers of the sacred and the profound are only paths of delusions and awakening within your own mind. Besides the mind, all karma of virtue and vice are unobtainable. Your intrinsic nature is wondrous. It is something natural and spontaneous, not something you can enlighten to, since you naturally have it. As such, what is there to be deluded about? Delusion only refers to our unawareness that your mind intrinsically has not a single thing and that the body, mind, and the world are originally empty. Because you are obstructed, therefore there is illusion. We have always taken the deluded. Thinking mind that constantly rises and passes away as real. For this reason you have also taken the various illusionary transformations in and appearances of the realms of the six sense objects as real. If today you are willing to arouse your mind and steer away from this direction and take the upper road, then you should cast aside all of your previous views and understandings.
Stephen Strange. Might I offer you some advice? Forget everything that you think you know.
You're a man looking at the world through a keyhole. You've spent your life trying to widen it. Your work saved the lives of thousands. What if I told you that reality is one of many?
I don't believe in fairy tales about chakras or energy or the power of belief.
You wonder what I see in your future? Possibility.
Why are you doing this?
There are other ways to save lives. So much you don't know.
Here not a single iota of intellectual knowledge or cleverness will be useful. You must only see through the body, mind, and world that appears before you and realize that they are all insubstantial. Like imaginary reflections, they are the same as images in the mirror or moon reflected in the water. Hear all sounds and voices like wind passing through the forest. Perceive all objects as drifting clouds in the sky. Everything is in a constant state of flux. Everything is illusory and insubstantial. Not only is the external world like this, but your own deluded thoughts, emotional discriminations of the mind, and all the seeds of passion, habit, tendencies, as well as all vexations are also groundless and insubstantial. If you can thus engage in contemplation, then whenever a thought arises, you should find its source. Never haphazardly allow it to pass you by without seeing through it. Do not be deceived by it. If this is how you work, then you will be doing some genuine practice. Do not try to gather up abstract and intellectual views on it, or try to fabricate some clever understanding about it. Still, to even speak about practice is really like the last alternative. For example, in the use of weapons, they are really not auspicious objects, but they are used as the last alternative in battles. The ancient ones spoke about investigating Chan and bringing forth the Huan Tao, referred to in this paper by the author as how to. These two are last alternatives. Even thought there are innumerable goangs, only by using the Huan Tao, who is reciting the Buddha's name, can you derive power from it easily enough amidst vicious situations. Even thought you can easily derive power from it, this Huan Tao is merely a broken tile for knocking down doors. Eventually you will have to throw it away. Still, you must use it for now. If you plan to use a Huan Tao for your practice, you must have faith, unwavering firmness, and perseverance. You must not have the least bit of hesitation and uncertainty. Also, you must not be one way today, another tomorrow. You should not be concerned that you will not be enlightened, nor should you feel that this Huan Tao is not profound enough. All of these thoughts are just hindrances. I must speak of these now so that you will not give up or give rise to doubt and suspicion when you are confronted by difficulties. If you can derive power from power, the external world will not influence you. However, internally your mind may give rise to much frantic distraction for seemingly no reason. Sometimes desire and lust well up, sometimes restlessness comes in. Numerous hindrances can arise inside of you, making you feel mentally and physically exhausted. You will not know what to do. These are all of the karmic propositions that have been stored inside your 18 consciousness for innumerable eons. Today, due to your energetic practice, they will all come out. At that critical point, you must be able to discern and see through them, then pass beyond these obstacles. Never be controlled and manipulated by them, and most of all, never take them to be real. At that point, you must refresh your spirit and arouse your courage. And diligence then bring forth this essential concern with your investigation of the Huan Tao. Fix your attention at the point from which thoughts arise and continuously push forward on and ask, originally there's nothing inside of me, so where does the obstacles come from? What is it? You must be determined to find out the bottom of this matter, pressing on just like this, killing every delusion inside without leaving a single trace until even the demons and spirits burst out in tears. If you can practice like this, naturally good news will come to you. If you can smash to a single thought, then all deluded thinking will be suddenly be stripped off. You will feel like a flower in the sky that casts no shadow, or like a bright sun emitting boundless light, or like a limpid pond, transparent and clear. After experiencing this, there will be immeasurable feelings of light and ease, as well as a sense of liberation. This is a sign of deriving power from practice for beginners. There is nothing marvelous or extraordinary about it. Do not rejoice and wallow in this ravishing experience. If you do, then the Mara of joy will possess you, and you will have gained another kind of obstruction. Concealed within the storehouse consciousness are your deep-rooted habit tendencies and seeds of passion. If your practice of Haranto is not taking effect, or that you are unable to contemplate and illuminate your mind, or you are simply incapable of applying yourself to the practice, then you should practice prostrations, read the sutras, and engage yourself in repentance. You may also recite mantras to receive the secret seal of the Buddhas. It will alleviate your hindrances. This is because all the secret mantras are the seals of the Buddha's diamond mind. When you use them, it is like holding an indestructible diamond thunderbolt that can shatter everything. Whatever comes close to it will be demolished into dust motes. The essence of all the esoteric teachings of all Buddhas and ancestral masters are contained in the mantras. Therefore, it is said that all Tathagatas in the 10 directions attained unimpossible and correct perfect enlightenment through such mantras. Even though the Buddhas have said this clearly, the lineage ancestral masters, fearing that these words may be misunderstood, have kept this knowledge a secret and do not use this method. Nevertheless, in order to derive power from using a mantra, you must practice it regularly after a long and extensive period of time. Yet even so, you should never anticipate or seek miraculous responses from using it. 3. Understanding enlightenment and actualized enlightenment. Those who talk understand enlightenment in their minds after hearing the spoken teaching from the Buddhas and ancestral masters reach an understanding enlightenment. In most cases, these people fall into views and knowledge. Confronted by all circumstances, they will not be able to make use of what they have come to know. Their minds and the external objects are in opposition. There is neither coordination nor harmony. Thus they face obstacles all the time. What they have realized is called pranja in semblance and is not from genuine practice. Actualized enlightenment. Actualized enlightenment results from solid and sincere practice when you reach an impasse where the mountains are barren and the waters are exhausted. Suddenly, at the moment when effort stops, you will truly perceive your own mind. At this time you will feel as though you have personally seen your own father on a crossroad. There is no doubt about it. It is like yourself drinking water. Whether this water is cold or warm, only you will know. It is not something you can describe to others. This is the genuine practice and true enlightenment. Having had such experiences, you can integrate into it all situations of life and purify as well as relinquish the karma that has already manifested. The stream of your consciousness, your deluded thinking and emotional conceptions until everything fuses into the one truth enlightened mind. This is actualized enlightenment. The state of actualized enlightenment can be further divided into shallow and profound realization. If you exert your efforts at the root of your existence, smashing the black lacquered barrel and instantaneously overturning the the den of fundamental ignorance, with one leap directly enter the realm of enlightenment, then there is nothing future for you to learn. This is having supreme karmic roots. Your actualization will be profound indeed. The depth of actualization for those who practice gradually, on the other hand, will be shallow. The most think is to be self-satisfied with little experiences. Never allow yourself to fall into the dazzling experiences that arise from your sensorial gate. Why? Because your eight consciousness has not yet been crushed, so whatever you experience or do will be contingent by your deluded consciousness and senses. If you think that this consciousness is real, then it is like mistaking a thief to be your own son. The ancient ones had said, those who engage in practice and do not know what is real because until now they have taken their consciousness to be true, what a fool takes to be his original face is actually a fundamental cause of birth and death. This is the barrier you must pass through. So-called sudden enlightenment and gradual practice refers to one who has experienced a tour of enlightenment but still has remembered habits and tendencies and are not instantaneously purified. For these people, they must implant the principles from the enlightenment that they have realized to face all circumstances of life and bring forth the strength from their contemplation and illumination to experience their minds in difficult situations. When one portion of their experiences in such situations accords with the enlightenment way, they will have actualized one portion of the Dharmakaya. When they dissolve away on one portion of their deluded thinking, that is the degree to which their fundamental wisdom manifested. What is critical is seamless continuity in the practice. For these people, it is much more effective when they practice in different real situations.
Dr. Strange, you think you know how the world works? What if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything does. Not everything has to. Through the mystic arts, we harness energy and shape reality. We travel great distances in an instant.
How do I get from here to there?
How did you become a doctor?
Study and practice, years of it.
There's a strength to him.
But is he ready? Be careful which path you travel down, Strange. Stronger men than you have lost their way. I am death. And pain. You'll die protecting this world.
I can't do this.
There is no other way.
I've spent so many years peering through time, looking for you.
What's this, my mantra?
It's the Wi-Fi password. We're not savages.